Trussell's Midnight Gospel, which deserves a fucking watch for anyone who has, tissue in between their ears. Again, Midnight Gospel is amazing, and it's also just a podcast that's been animated, like a lot of it. I think he re-recorded some things, but like the last episode is his mum who died, and it's just edited with his mother, who was passing away of cancer at the time, and it's them talking about how she's gonna die, and then it's like a great episode of the podcast. Midnight Gospel is great.
We should watch that.
Yeah, we should. We've watched a bit of it, you and I, but like, yeah. We were discussing this. We think we should do some media shit on this podcast. We like Cracked is one of our favorite YouTube channels that has unfortunately passed away due to capitalism and terribleness. But it's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
You're mad.
I'm fucking really mad. But yeah, Cracked is amazing. But they do a bunch of media dissections and they do like little discussions, like BuzzFeed if it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if BuzzFeed like had talent, you know what I mean, and quality control.
Watch After Hours if you haven't.
Yeah, After Hours is, I think, literally the best thing on YouTube besides maybe Vsauce. Like
if you're a nerd, if you're into nerd stuff.
Yeah, if you like, I don't know, they got something for every. If you like Indiana Jones, if you like old shit, if you like Marvel, if you like Harry Potter, they got all that shit. They discuss all of it, but really you should be do you agree with me? You need to be like well-rounded in media. Like if you haven't seen any of the classics, if you've never seen Jurassic Park,
yeah,
you've never seen Ghostbusters.
I know, but yeah, you've got to know a lot to be well-rounded properly.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of media out there, and people.
I would say there's like 40 movies.
The Fan doesn't have a lot of time.
Yeah, The Fan doesn't have a lot of time. I would say there's like a couple dozen movies and a couple shows where you basically have seen all the important shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Avatar earlier. That is like a vital education show for kids.
Yep. And if you watch one movie a week, there's 52 weeks in the year, you'll get through them. Like, you've got time. You got time to watch movies.
And I mean, we mean Avatar The Last Airbender.
Avatar The Last Airbender, fantastic. Also, if you haven't seen Avatar the movie, it's not great, but I mean, what are you doing?
If you haven't seen the show,
yeah.
Apparently, you're talking about the blue people though, right?
Yeah, the blue people, yeah. Just, the fucking movie is horrific. The movie for Avatar The Last Airbender, the live action one, sucks all of the dick in the world.
We've heard though that if you watch it and then you watch the TV show, the movie doesn't seem that bad if it's the first thing you've seen in Avatar.
Well, that's like me. Aragon is a book that only nerds will know, and I should shut up about it, but Aragon also had a movie that was terrible, but I watched the movie and then I read the book. So I don't remember the movie as being as utter trash as it is.
See, it's some kind of thing on the human brain, it does that.
Yeah. But it was utter trash, the Aragon movie.
Yeah.
Like, can you, I think it kind of standed up, like, on its own, but it was just, like, fucking... The books are, like, amazing, and they changed the whole thing. Like,
by the way, we're a nerd sanctuary here. The audience, hopefully you're all nerds.
Yeah. You probably should be, like, unless you're fine with missing a lot of references.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, even if you don't think you're a nerd, but you get all the references, you're a nerd.
You're a nerd.
Let's be honest
with
ourselves here.
You're a nerd.
Fan, you're a nerd.
You like Harry Potter? You're a nerd.
Yeah, you really into Harry Potter? That's a nerd thing.
Oh, you like Spider-Man? You're a nerd.
Yeah, accept it.
Accept it. Just lean in. It's good.
It's modern. It's hip.
Yeah. Well-rounded. Being an interesting individual is so important. Oh my god. I mean, should we discuss
Yes.
the others?
Yes, we should. He's referring to humans in general, the others, The humans where it's like, they've just had trouble in their life, ever like opening up and stuff, and they're sort of,
It's a multitude of things.
It's a lot of things, but basically, they're kind of trapped in the human condition.
Yeah. Haven't quite broken the wheel,
Yeah. And when obviously no one's escaped the human condition, but you can get out of it enough to a point where you can sort of feel better about your...
I don't know, man. Mindfulness, like...
Yeah.
You don't have to meditate like every day or some shit, but you should meditate a couple times or do psychedelics and get that sort of message. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few like really important walls to break in your mind. Like, I don't know. God, oh my God, we're gonna like this podcast is not gonna be us trying to explain to a normal person how to think, because that would be an exhausting endeavor. Like, you know, that is not this podcast. This podcast is for the pre-initiated. You know, you got to be a 300 IQ Rick and Morty viewer to get this. All right, guys. So if you're not a 300 IQ like Giga Brain, Mega Mind, you know, first of all, stop, and second of all, stop your life. So, you know,
everything you think matters doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do I have free will? Who does?
Yeah.
Oh my God. If you don't get Rick references, once again, you're not the fan. That's what we should do. Anyone who's listening, one person that's listening will be the fan.
Yeah, we have a fan, okay? The realist fan.
We're going to be slowly narrowing it down, right? Like, you know.
Yeah. We want to, and we're not trying to exclude our other audience members. Okay?
Yeah.
You can watch. It's just, you're not the fan. Just know that.
You're not the fan. If you don't get the Rick references, you are not the fan. If you were hoping that you were the fan, that's the sign.
If you thought we were referring to you when we said the fan, we weren't referring to you.
Yes. But if you went to go and watch all of Rick and Morty and then you got the references and then you came back, then maybe you would be back on track to being the fan.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're a fan yet. You know, you gotta get everything we ever said in its entirety.
Right now, the fan is being selected. It's not decided, but someone out there, they know already.
Yeah, it's more of a...
There's a quiet, confident someone out there, I think, that knows they're the fan.
Who knows that they're the fan?
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's one of us.
Maybe I am the fan.
Maybe it's us.
It
Maybe
could be you.
We are the fan.
It could be me. It could be any one of us.
It could be any one of us. Oh my God. Will just took a swig of, what is that? Tequila? Will just took a swig of tequila because he's insane and he does that like casually, not to get drunk. But because
I gotta clear my throat, dude. Clear my mouth.
Okay, anyone who's sane, if you're the fan listening right now, you will be able to know. I don't even have to explain why he's insane. I don't even have to go into depth.
No, it clears. It's like a detoxificator, you know.
Exhibit A.
It's detoxification juice.
How does it taste?
Like freedom. Like beauty. You know. It tastes good. You know, it tastes like how victory would taste if it was sweet.
Ah. The words of a madman, gentlemen. You're one gentleman, the fan.
Yeah, or gentle fan. No, I'm getting. He's shaking his head. He doesn't think the fan is a woman.
If you don't have a penis,
you don't think it's possible to be the fan?
I just don't think that you're the fan. I think statistically, the
odds are against you.
The odds are not with your favor.
They're not.
To be the fan.
That's just basic.
I would feel honoured if the fan was female.
I would feel honoured if the fan was female.
Or just any gender that doesn't have a peenie.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't have a pee-pee, you can be the fan.
You could be the fan, but we don't think you are.
We don't think you are. But and it's not because it's not about you. It's us.
It's us, exactly. We have pee-pees, you see, and we have pee-pee bias.
Yeah, we have pee-pee bias.
Pee-pee privilege, right?
Pee-pee privilege.
Yeah. We're ignorant in certain ways. We just feel.
I just feel.
Yeah. I just feel like it'll be...
Everything's gonna be...
You know, let's predict right now. Let's put money... I think it'll be a gay Asian man. That's who I think the fan is going to be.
If the fan is gay, then we've kind of won.
Right?
You know?
Anyone out there who sucks pee-pee and has a pee-pee, we're in the odds, buddy.
Yeah.
They're in your favor.
They're in your favor. You could... Dude, that's double points.
Double points. You hear that, gentlemen?
Yeah. My good-looking fellas out there, my gentlemans.
Yeah.
Or fella.
Some guy just honking, just honk, 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 honk as he goes
you might have, I don't know if they could hear that, but...
They could not, but I just thought they should know.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a rampant car honker outside.
Yeah. We have a... What is it? A Duke Van Dyke?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
There's someone that has a car horn, we think, that... Like, and also ice cream truck. I got a good recording of the ice cream truck.
We
that
have evidence,
patrols
people.
the streets.
We've got footage of the ice cream truck.
I think it's abducting kids because I don't know where it goes. I've never seen it.
No, it's
but
just
I hear the sound.
Stalking the streets,
It's
man.
stalking the inner streets.
It's in a weird. There's not that many kids around here.
There's not that
There's
many
no
kids.
parks.
Man.
There's no playgrounds.
This is a targeted attack on the
There's
child.
a weird ice cream van just going around, fucking doing the song.
Probably like a meth lab.
Yeah, I hope it's a meth lab. Actually, that would make me
Ever since
happy.
the Titanic.
Yeah, ever since the Titanic.
That's,
oh yeah.
We have this restaurant. Can we say that?
Yeah. There's a Titanic. There's a restaurant near us. It's themed after the Titanic, right? And they got found with a whole bunch of weed they were growing in the basement. So that's fun. That's been there since we were children. Nice family restaurant, growing a ton of weed. Dude, I've probably, I mean, like, first of all, I'm joking, and this is not incriminating at all, but I have probably smoked that weed from Titanic, which makes me happy. Like, it does make me happy. You know, local grown, farm to table, you know.
Theoretically, if you smoked.
Yeah, theoretically, I would have if I smoked weed, exactly. If I ever would do such a thing. My body's a temple, you see. And nothing enters it that I don't. I only drink clean mountain water, and I eat.
You know what you should do?
soybeans.
This is what I do. I just drink. I piss into a bag,
Yeah.
and then I boil it over a fire for like 20 seconds.
Okay.
And then I just drink that.
Only 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's a quick boil. But does it get to a boil in the 20? Or do you wait till it's boiling?
Well,
and
the
then...
water boils, and then I put the bag of piss into the boiling water.
Oh.
For about 20 seconds.
Okay. How much? What's the piss to water ratio?
I would say it's like 2/3 of a third
Well,
of piss.
so the thing that you said is ridiculous that you just said with your mouth, and that doesn't make any sense. So
Well, I use the dirty water. Well, no, I fill a bucket of water.
a third? That's not a ratio.
Is it not?
No.
What would that be?
Are you trying to say?
A 9?
Are you trying to say 2/9 of? So there's one hole of water and there's 2/9 of piss. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting
The piss is
ratio.
a 9, and the piss is a 2 out of 9, and the water is a 9. And the hole.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And the hole is tenths.
Yeah.
Is elevenths.
Yeah. I dropped out of math.
Yeah, I understand.
I stopped doing it in year 10.
No, I get it. I get you, fam.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not about that math life, yo.
I don't remember what we were talking about before. We were talking about boiling piss.
I mean, it's completely erased from my memory.
Well, I mean, the boiling piss thing. Should we just try it? Like, well, I feel like you should just show me. You know what I mean? Like,
Boiling
exactly.
some piss?
Yeah, but can you just?
I just peed, like...
Did you save it? You didn't flush, did you? You know I hate it when you flush.
I didn't flush this time.
Oh, thank God.
Because I remembered you said you didn't like it.
Thank God. I hate it when you flush.
Yeah.
Such a waste.
Yeah, it was good piss.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should... Physics.
Huh?
You ever hear about physics, kid?
Kid? Fan?
Hey,
Gentleman?
champ.
I heard one time about physics. What'd you say? What about it?
It's pretty cool.
Oh. I had never heard that about physics.
Physics is pretty cool.
I have not ever heard that information.
Have you ever researched physics?
Yes. One time,
What did you
an
find?
apple fell on my head.
What did you find?
I discovered gravity.
How did that go?
You know, so.
How's gravity affected your life, you reckon?
The apple mostly is the main thing
Yeah.
that I'm upset about with gravity.
Yeah.
And also my mother fell off a building.
My mother didn't.
Yeah, no, different timeline. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who?
No, don't worry about it. Don't overthink anything that I've said.
Okay, now shut the fuck up. Okay? Stop talking. Okay. Now gravity. How has it affected your life in its entirety? Okay? Everything you do, right, has been affected by gravity?
Yeah, mostly your mum has been affected by gravity, and I do her.
How long has it been in the podcast? Should we
I have no idea.
Should we end it now?
It's 60 minutes. We haven't been going that long. Listen, okay, I told them.
We're out of
just
material.
Strap in for a bumpy ride.
We're out of material
What are
already.
you talking about? Do you want a real diagnosis of gravity? Because gravity is the only thing that keeps me on this little stupid rock. So I would be free if it wasn't for gravity. Free to go up and choke in space because there would be no atmosphere. And also no planet. And also no universe. Because gravity forms into stars and therefore solar systems and therefore galaxies and superclusters and a universal foam. Like, you know. So yeah, gravity big boy. Gravity is a Chad and it keeps us all alive.
Do we have any Bibles?
I must write.
Okay. Yes.
I must delve into
Yeah.
this, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's the 4 fundamental forces. We could talk about that. I don't know if this is a science podcast or a comedy podcast. Or
This
what
one is probably more comedy. What's a
Could be
funny thing about the 4 fundamental forces, Oscar? What's a
Um,
hilarious comedic fact about the 4 fundamental forces? What are the 4 fundamental forces for context?
Okay, so the 4 fundamental forces, so far as we know, are gravity, which you know what gravity is.
It's a knee slapper. That's full
Yeah.
comedy.
That's funny, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the weak nuclear force. It has a small dick. And then the strong nuclear force, which notice wears a large dick.
Oh, I love strong nuclear force. It's so funny, dude. I fucking love strong nuclear
Yeah,
force.
exactly. Strong nuclear force. So let me. There's a few different types already. I think that I don't know enough about the strong and weak nuclear force. Electromagnetism is the thing that makes magnets work, and it's also the thing that makes light go. So consider that.
Is that number 4?
Is that number 4? Yeah, it is number 4. Well, I don't know if I did it in the right order, but that's the 4.
That's the 4.
Yeah. And that's the 4 things that control everything in the universe. It's funny, nowhere in it does it say pride or love or like the human spirit or free will or any of those things that we think make stuff happen. It's strange.
Because
That's a comedic
Oscar.
fact.
it's all an illusion. You know? That stuff actually doesn't do anything. It literally does nothing, guys and gals.
Well, it's subjective. It's like those things are actually, if I'm going to do a non-funny, if I'm going to not joke about it, those things are all within the fundamental forces, not the subject. Like pride is a thing that monkeys do, and monkeys are physical objects in a chemical, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, pride is physical in a certain sense. Like the chemicals that make you feel pride are physical.
a really spiritual, hippy-dippy person would be like, yeah, man, consciousness protrudes into matter in the form of people's actions. But the thing is, consciousness is already in matter. Like, it's not a measurable force.
But it's there.
Yeah, like, all your subjective experience is biochemical. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not, obviously. To you, you're a conscious being. You're a soul in the realm of consciousness. God. So
Should
let's do a
we-
quick explanation of
yeah.
what consciousness
Let's
means.
take a,
Let's define it,
let's have a
right?
quick intermission.
So, consciousness, a lot of people think like, oh, a chimp isn't conscious and a human is conscious. Like, no, that's not it at all. That's like so far away from what consciousness means.
Yeah.
So, consciousness is any sensation. The ancient Greeks called them qualia, right? Any sensation. So, colors, sounds, smells, tastes, any of those things which are we can explain how you taste, but we can't explain the taste is only experienceable by you.
Yeah.
So the taste of steak is not real as far as science is concerned. It's subjective. The person who tastes the steak can experience the taste of steak, but it's
Everyone
not
can
measured.
agree that a steak can taste good.
Yes.
We all know steak is good.
We all know steak has a taste.
But we would never be able to like mathematically show you
It's
the taste of
immeasurable.
steak.
It's immeasurable. You could never put it on paper. That like the color red, we can explain the photons and how they enter your eye and how the brain chemistry works, but we cannot. No one can put the color red anywhere except in your brain. Like it's only experienceable by yours. So yeah, that's what consciousness is. Is feeling any sensation. It's being a thing that can feel, and you know.
I can feel.
I can feel. And if you know that determinism is real and free will doesn't exist, most animals and humans and everything, I don't know if this is for sure a fact, but I'm pretty certain that we would have behaved exactly the same way throughout all of history, even if we didn't feel things. Like,
Yeah. And also on that note, if anyone doesn't think that animals have souls, you are wrong.
you have not considered it deeply enough.
If you have a dog, watch your dog, look into its eyes, and you can see that it is feeling emotion the same way you feel emotion.
And not even like, a lot of people are like, oh, you can look in its eye. They would be like, you're projecting, and they would be like, you know.
Oh,
Well-
no. If you are like if you're like completely sober mindset, right? You're like sitting there, you're calm. Your dog walks up to you. You can see, like, you can tell that it feels stuff based on its actions, right?
Well, it feels pain.
Yeah, it feels pain. It doesn't
you know,
like to be hurt.
People don't like when people like. Well, it remove it from like a dog, like a fish. If you stab a fish, it tries to fucking swim away because it feels scared. It feels adrenaline.
Yeah.
You know, like there's that thing like lobsters. So there's a thing in male humans where you know your dominance hierarchy. It's not as big now because we don't need it as much, but we can feel there's a dopamine system in humans, which is the same in a lot of mammals and the same in a lot of animals, which basically is like if you're a low standing in a social group, you will not feel good. And if you're a high standing in the social group, you will feel a good dopamine, you will feel better, you will feel safer and more comfortable, and you will have more joy if you feel like you're safe in your social group, right? That's male and female, but it's a different thing. So male lobsters specifically, which lobsters and humans split on the evolutionary pathway hundreds of millions of years ago. Like, it's not a billion, but it's hundreds of millions of years ago. We're very, very distantly related. But lobsters still have the exact same system where other larger male lobsters and stuff, they can measure their brain and they can tell that lobsters feel shitty when they're of a low social standing, and they feel good when they're of a high social standing. And it's the same brain chemistry as is observed in mammals and humans.
Yeah.
So that stuff's old. That stuff's deep. That lobster, if you could go read the lobster's mind, it would literally feel insecure, and then it would feel confident. Like, those are traditionally considered to be like human feelings, but they're not. They're old feelings that evolution already determined long ago as helpful. Like,
Yeah. So to sum up, lobsters, based on how happy they are, sets their place on the hierarchy.
opposite, other way around.
Based on how...
Their hierarchy, they can tell their social standing, and it makes them either feel
yes.
insecure or confident.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So if they're like a shitty beta male lobster, they'll be like insecure about it, and if they're a big Chad malt lobster,
Yeah,
they're gonna feel confident.
They'll feel happier.
Yeah, and it's the same brain pathway that humans have with dopamine.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm an evolution nerd. Will is more of a politics nerd.
Yeah, I could tell you about any video game and any politics. Well, I would give you probably a very
Decent
point on the politics. But video games is my real expertise.
Yeah.
And media.
Because
Internet culture.
I'm a filthy casual gamer.
Yeah.
Not really, I've got thousands of hours in games, but still, like, compared to Will, I'm a filthy casual. Like,
Filthy gaijin.
yeah, filthy gaijin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just beat Dark Souls again today.
Yeah, you've been doing it a couple times, huh?
Yeah.
Times recently.
Well, it's pretty easy. It's more of a casual side thing now.
Yeah, you know, just beat Dark Souls.
I only
Whatever.
died like twice.
It's
Didn't
all
even
good.
die in the last boss though. I died to like falling off the map once accidentally.
Yeah. You're also like you're very high level in a lot of games where being high level is really hard to do.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just built that way. I used my child autism on video games and it
Yeah.
just carried me through.
your child brain.
My child brain sponge. I sponged up solely video game knowledge for most of my childhood years.
It served you fairly well. Video
Yeah,
games
yeah.
are a decent education.
They
like,
really are. I'm a good example of that.
if you're talking functionality, like, you know what I mean? You can be highly functional if literally everything you know is from video games and gaming culture.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And the internet as well. You gotta be online. Not just like single player video games. You gotta learn about the social stuff from online.
Yeah.
And it's not a replacement for actual in-person social.
Yeah, you're well-rounded
I'm
human
well-rounded.
being. You've done a lot of... You're also really good at shooting clay pigeons and camping and fishing.
Well, I'm a dead eye.
Yeah, well, I just activate Deadeye.
I just turned on my Deadeye, and it's simple as that.
Yeah. We've had we were well-rounded. We lived in Papua New Guinea.
That place was hype.
It was the best.
My life was peak in PNG.
Yeah, man, that place was fucking. That place slaps. That place rips. Like, if you're quite wealthy, because we had the privilege of being from Australia and we were able to move over there and get like a high-ranking job. Well, our parents were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's rampant with crime a little bit.
Corruption in the government is still a big issue.
Yeah, corruption's a problem.
They have a really strong patriarchy still. Like, I'm talking like 1930s patriarchy. Like, full-on sexism.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But it was fucking awesome. The people were amazing. Like,
they were very nice.
We had an awesome fucking time over there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And we lived there for 4 years.
Yeah, we went there when I was 3, and I remember I turned 8 before we came back.
Yeah.
It was like 4.5 years, I think.
Yeah. I think we went there when I was just past 5, and then I turned 10, like, just after we got here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
4.5 then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a very fun period of our lives.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. I remember a lot about PNG. It sort of fueled my little curiosity, and it also made us more outsiders, like we talked about, like, in a positive way, where we had a lot of friends in PNG, though. Well, you did. I didn't have friends until, like, year 9.
Yeah. But that was, that it wasn't, you were,
It was by choice.
yeah, you kind of met him halfway on that for a long time. But I was pretty good at making friends, just because I was, like, good at,
You've been better at blending in.
yeah, I was better at blending in. I had played enough video games at that point. The origin of me being good at fitting in was because I was like, oh, well, fitting in's not that hard. You just act like an NPC.
Yeah.
And it kind of just works.
Yeah.
Not in a psychopath way, I gotta
Not in
say.
a detached, weird
Yeah,
way.
I was not detached.
Yeah.
It was all from a place of reality. I just never fully divulged, like, my true thoughts.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't need to. People were already a little dumber than me as well.
Yeah, well, at that age, they're just kids, Not like we weren't, but we were different.
We had I think our upbringing was like, being a PNG, you learn a lot of street knowledge just by existing there.
Yeah.
You kind of got to level up a little quicker,
Yeah, and then to go from Australian, like, creche straight to PNG and then straight back to Australia.
Well, my first schooling was in PNG.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, we had to be adaptable. Like, yeah.
PNG set me up right. I became
Yeah.
it's fine.
And we have really, really